The Storm Team Weather Lab, KAMC meteorologist Kellyanne Class.
Well, it's October and it feels like today will be a little bit more like summer as temperatures are into the 80s and 90s. We began that warm up yesterday as we were about 2 degrees above our average for this time of year. So keep in mind our average for this time of year, 78 degrees. Yesterday's high temperature was 80 degrees. Today we're going to get even warmer than it was yesterday, and high temperatures could reach almost 10 degrees above our average of now 77 degrees for this time of year. We're already noticing that warm air in place this afternoon as temperatures are into the mid 70s and a few upper 60s, but notice into the rolling plains nearing the 80s in some spots. Temperatures are going to rise very rapidly later on this afternoon thanks to high pressure in place. That's also giving us abundant sunshine this afternoon. Not any clouds across the area. Couple that sunshine with these breezy southwesterly winds that'll usher in that dry and hot air this afternoon, and temperatures are going to feel very hot. But notice this large spread in high temperatures anywhere from the lower 80s to the mid 90s, especially into the rolling plains. The elevation plays a key factor in why we see this difference in range in temperatures. And in fact, Clovis and eastern New Mexico a little bit over 4,000 feet in elevation, whereas Guthrie is less than 1,000 feet in elevation. What happens as you get closer and closer to the sea level, the surface pressure increases, and when you have that increase in surface pressure, you have a decrease in volume of air. That helps to heat up the atmosphere, and that's why we're seeing this 10-degree spread in temperature. So about 93 degrees as the high temperature in Guthrie, and in New Mexico, temperatures into the lower 80s. Notice a high temperature in Lubbock, though, today will reach about 86 degrees, so almost about 10 degrees above our average. Still very warm for this time of year, giving it that summer-like feel. Things are going to change very quickly as we head on into Thursday evening and Friday afternoon as we watch a very strong cold front move through that will give us the coldest air so far of the season. So here's that cold front as it continues to push down to the south and into the central portions of the South Plains by Thursday evening, bringing in that cooler air. It'll fully pass on through, and by the time you wake up on Friday morning, temperatures will be into the 30s in many spots and even into the Panhandle, potentially even into the upper 20s. Along with that passage of that cold front, it's going to bring in a lot of breezy conditions as well. So couple that cold air and those breezy conditions, it's going to feel very frigid outside. You want to start thinking about breaking out those heavier winter jackets because it looks like it is going to be on the way very quickly. Once that cold front fully passes on through, high pressure is going to filter in directly behind that. What that's going to do for our temperatures by this weekend is heat it up, especially as high pressure pushes off to the east. We're going to get that southwesterly flow and southerly flow to help temperatures rise back up into the 60s by Saturday and then eventually into the 80s by Sunday. For today, though, feeling very comfortable yet warm outside for this time of year. Lubbock's high temperature of 86 degrees, almost about 10 degrees above our average of 77 for this time of year. Under abundant sunshine, areas into the rolling plains will be into the mid 90s, whereas areas especially off to the north and west into the lower 80s. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we are expected to cool down a few degrees by tomorrow into the lower 80s, and then once that cold front fully passes on through, temperatures by Friday morning into the 30s. High temperature on Friday into the mid 50s, keeping the windy conditions around by Friday, making it feel more like the upper 40s and lower 50s for many areas. Then by this weekend, we quickly warm up, and then by the beginning of next week, already rebounding back up into the mid 80s. But for that cold front, you want to make sure that you are remembering the 3 Ps, your pets, plants, and pipes. And Nicolette, obviously, you know that you want to bring your pets or your plants on in, but you also want to bring your pets in because if it's too cold for you to stay outside in that weather, it's too cold for your pets.
Definitely. Well, I'm definitely worried about my plants. So I know that last year I did have an issue with keeping them out there past the first freeze. So what would you recommend? What is too late? Is Friday too late to keep them out there?
Yeah, I would actually recommend beginning now to bring them on in to get acclimated to your inside conditions, because once that front passes on through, those temperatures are going to drop quick.
Perfect.